This week, Richmond is decided. The first thing this week, on the 30th, the siege of Corinth, Mississippi ends. The Confederates evacuate, and the Union doesn't actually realize till the evening, meaning Pierre Gustave Touton's Beauregard gets away free. Secretary of War Edwin Stanton calls it a brilliant victory, and it is. The two railroads have fallen to the Union, and all without any major loss. Sure, the Confederates did get away, but that doesn't matter to Major General Henry Halleck. For this victory, he is awarded the name Old Brains. Maybe a little jab at the slow pace of battle. But the enemy has gotten away, and he will need to destroy them in order to achieve total victory. Or maybe not, if McClellan breaks the Confederacy first. On the 31st, in Virginia, the Battle of Seven Pines or Fair Oaks. The Union is led by the cautious Major General George B. McClellan. He has the 2nd Corps under the more knowledgeable Brigadier General Edwin Sumner, the 3rd Corps under Brigadier General Samuel P. Heintzelman, the 4th Corps belongs to Brigadier General Erasmus Keyes, the 5th belongs to General Fitzporter, and the 6th belongs to Brigadier General William B. Franklin. The Confederates are led by full General Joseph E. Johnston. His army isn't organized in corps, so the left wing is led by Major General Gustavus W. Smith, the right wing, Major General James Longstreet, and the reserves, Major General John Magruder. But what causes this battle? Well, Johnston has heard that the 1st Corps won't be coming to McClellan's aid, and Johnston knows that the 3rd and 4th Corps are separated from the main Union force by the Chickahominy River. If he could use a majority of his army, he could skirmish with those north of the river while crushing those south of it. That's the broad strokes. The more in-depth plan is hard to know because he only gave verbal orders to James Longstreet. To other commanders he gave, while written orders, vague and conflicting ones. It is with great doubt that Major General James Longstreet begins the march towards battle on the 31st. He actually wakes up Major General Huger, a Confederate divisional commander, because no one thought to tell anyone when the battle was supposed to start. Huger rushes to get his division ready for battle, and actually he might be able to get in time because Longstreet takes a wrong turn onto Williamsburg Road instead of 9 Miles Road, delaying the battle further. Though maybe the Confederates still have the advantage. They have surprise, and with 39,000 men to the 34,000 of the Union, numbers. Major General Daniel Hill of the Confederacy has grown impatient. The reports of battle should have been here hours ago. It takes his 10,000 men division to assault Brigadier General Casey's division of the 4th Corps. Inexperienced in numbering only 6,000 men, Hill easily overwhelms the 2 New York regiments that were supposed to be skirmishing his line. Casey is on the back foot, and some of his men start to run away, but those who stay are soon laid into by the Confederates, who get into deadly range. Gunfire almost destined to hit something is unleashed en masse. Bayonets that always seem to find their target are just thrusted, and the deafening sounds of battle consume the battlefield of earthworks. But in the end, numbers give way, and Casey is forced to withdraw towards his 2nd line of defense. News of the battle so far stays with on-the-ground commanders. Johnston is in the Sound Desert and can't hear anything. McClellan is too sick in bed to do anything of himself. The 2nd line of defense is much harder for the Confederates to take than the 1st. Not only is there Casey's reformed men, but Brigadier General Darius Couch's division of the 4th Corps from the 3rd Corps, Brigadier General Kearny's division. For this reason, and the fact his division is exhausted, Major General Hill sends word to Longstreet for reinforcements. He gets 1 brigade. It was once commanded by Brigadier General Richard Anderson, but is now led by Colonel Jenkins. With the fresh faces, though obviously wanting more than a single brigade, Hill comes up with a flanking maneuver. Colonel Jenkins takes regiments that crash into Casey's part of the Union line and force a retreat. Hoping to capitalize on this success, Colonel James Kemper, who has just got into the battlefield, sends his brigade against a different part of the Union line, which is far more strong than he wagered for. Artillery opens up and decimates his brigade, and then the Union infantry disintegrate them. It is around 4 p.m. that Full General Johnston receives word of the battle, and actually a request by Major General Longstreet to join in. He does so, having recently promoted Brigadier General Whiting use his newly acquired brigade to lead him to the battle. The escort does not go long before Union artillery finds them and opens up upon them. And the artillery is too effective for Whiting to ignore, so he orders a brigade from Colonel Law to take those guns. Those guns belong to Brigadier General Abercrombie's brigade, and they are doing strong work. Law advances to the left, but is pounded by 4 artillery guns. When he gets within range of Abercrombie's muskets, the fire turns him back. But also, where's Brigadier General Sumner? Brigadier General Sumner and his 2nd Corps is on the other side of the earlier mentioned river, and to many it seems impossible to cross. Sumner disagrees.
Impossible? Sir, I tell you I can cross. I am ordered.
He has Brigadier General John Sedgwick and his division cross over and reinforce Abercrombie at Fair Oak Station. As Sedgwick's 1st Brigade arrives, Law attacks it. Law is helped by 2 other brigades, but finds no early success. As more men of Sedgwick's division pour in, along with artillery, the 3 Confederate brigades take heavier and heavier tolls on the Confederacy. Brigadier General Pettigrew is wounded and captured by the Union. Other Confederate officers are wounded, killed, or captured. It is at this moment Sumner is planning an ultimate counterattack, and Johnston is wounded. A bullet digs into his shoulder, and a shell fragment slams into his chest. His wounds knock him unconscious, and he is removed from the field. Major General Gustavus W. Smith takes over command, and Sumner unleashes his counterattack. His men force the Confederates back to the first line of defense. The first day has ended. At Fair Oaks, it has been a success. The Confederates suffered 3 times as many casualties as the Union did. At Casey's position near Seven Pines, a manageable disaster. Both sides reinforced throughout the night. As the 3rd Corps moves in, Brigadier General Hooker's division and the 2nd Corps division under Brigadier General Israel Richardson reach the scene. The Confederates bring up brigades, and Longstreet reaches the battle lines. They're planning something. On the night of the 31st to the 1st of June, Richardson finds 2 Confederate regiments close to his line. A nighttime attack could easily capture them, but it also exposes his division. He doesn't take the bait. It's at 6:30 in the morning when the onslaught ensues. 2 brigades of Huger crash into Richardson's division and break it, but Richardson rallies and is reinforced. He charges, and the Union line as a whole goes into assault. Hooker uses his division to assault 2 Confederate brigades southwards, and despite a hard fight, the Confederates are forced to retreat. The withdrawal is back all the way to Casey's earthworks. Everywhere the Confederates are forced back to the earlier Union defenses. The battle is done. The battle is over, but neither side won. The Union suffered 790 dead, 3,594 wounded, 647 missing or captured. The Confederates fared far worse, losing 908 killed, 4,749 wounded, and 405 captured or missing. McClellan does claim victory, but he's lost the will to fight for the time. The Confederates return to Richmond, but for Smith, the welcome is not a warm one. President Jefferson Davis was not happy with his performance and replaces him with full General Robert.E.Lee. Lee is a veteran of the Mexican-American War, comes from a prominent Virginia family, and is most famous for defeating John Brown at Harper's Ferry. But in this war, he has only showed failure. It is now his job to push McClellan from the peninsula and Virginia. On the 2nd and House of Representatives, an argument over whether or not to recognize Haiti and Liberia. First speaks Representative Gooch, a Republican of Massachusetts' 7th District.
Mr. Speaker, this bill provides for the recognition of Haiti and Liberia and the establishment of diplomatic relations with them.
Then speaks Representative Cox, a Copperhead from Ohio's 12th District.
The gentleman from Massachusetts intends to let Haiti and Liberia send as ministers whomsoever they please to this country.
A reply by Representative Fessenden of Maine.
What objection can the gentleman have? Objection? Gracious heavens! What innocency! Objection to receiving a black man on equality with the white men of this country? Every objection which instinct, race, prejudice, and institutions make. I have been taught that this country was made for white men, that the government is a government of white men, and the men who made it never intended to place the black race on equality with the white. It may be that the gentlemen on the other side intend to carry out their scheme of emancipation to the extent that they will raise the black to the equality of the white. I suppose they want to approach that object by having a colored representative in the Capitol at Washington. Having given national equality to the black republics, do you want to go a little further, make individual, political, and social equality? State your reasons, not ours. I recall that you stated you would rather the Union should not be restored than that slavery should continue.
Despite Cox's wishes, the bill comes up for a vote. 86 yeas, 37 nays. It passes. And on the 5th, another battle at Tanner's Creek. Well, not really a battle. You see, it was an accident. But more than an accident, it will be the last battle of the North Carolina expedition. Burnside has received orders to leave North Carolina for Virginia, and will do so the 6th. Then there is Sickles, and Sickles has finally won the battle he has been waiting for. On June the 1st, under the orders of Hooker, he and his men were trying to find the Confederate army, and there it stood. Immediately, an unruly Excelsior regiment charged them, and actually captured not only men, but also a carriage. The rest performed brilliantly, while Sickles could only see 3 of his regiments in amazing action masterfully dispose of the opponents. He felt confident to report. The dashing charge of the 2nd and 4th Regiments, the cool and steady advance of the 3rd, occurred under my immediate observation and could not be surpassed. Not only has Sickles outdone himself once more, he's actually getting the recognition he deserves. His brigade took the initiative and destroyed those before it. The only question for Sickles is when will he be allowed to take on Richmond? And that's where the weekend split between Corinth and Richmond. And I might have lied in my opening. It isn't Richmond that's decided, but Corinth. According to Halleck, Corinth and Richmond are the 2 most important cities. The Union has one, and it feels so close to the other. But yet it feels so far away from a complete victory. McClellan has no will to take Richmond, and will not heed to President Lincoln on this matter. The slow decisions in Congress do not help in this matter. The Confederates in the West survived Corinth. The army is fully intact. There needs to be another victory for you to claim anything. But no commander is willing to fight it. Hello, it's the entire Civil War Week by Week team here. I just want to say thank you for the 1,000 subscribers. And hopefully 1,000 more fall into this trap. If you liked the video, please like it. If you want to tell me how much you liked it, please comment. If you want to see more, you should be seeing playlists, recommended videos, and a button to subscribe if you don't want to go to the one down below. It has been an honor reporting this very old news to you, and I'll see you next week.